What do you think about mushrooms? We think they are kinda romantic. Let's see how I sliced it. Alright guys, let's see this mushroom. I'll put the file in here. And first of all, we are going to talk about breeding settings because this part over here needs a lot of breeding. Okay, if you are printing on a common printer, let's say a Marlin printer, a slower one, you can use a similar setting as mine. If you are using a bamboo printer, let's see, a K1, I don't know, a faster printer, okay, a clipper one, you may use a faster speed settings for all parts on your print, but in the breed settings, you should keep as similar as mine, okay? Let's see an example in here. If you are with my similar printer, you can keep all the speed similar as well. We can increase this actually to 100 millimeters per second, because in this drop in particular, and also, sorry for that, if you don't know where this model came from, it's from Astoflix, from the Valentine's Day drop, Valentine Lights actually, and then you can check the link on the description, okay? But what about this drop? We have a lot of lamps in here. So the main topic of the model is not the finishing, is not the outside of the model. Actually, the main part of this print is the scene that is inside of the model. Okay, so we don't need to pay a lot of attention in decreasing layer height, because the important part in here is the scene, the couple in a picnic. Okay, so first of all, let's just guarantee that is going to be fine, but not that complicated settings, okay? So let's see in here, I'm going to increase the speed, okay? That's what my speech was about. We are increasing speed. We don't need to reduce a lot. We don't need to worry a lot with vibrations, okay? So let's keep the speed in here. But, we have to concern about breathing settings. Let's keep at 60 because we have a lot of bridges in here. Let's first slice this. And if you look at this part, we start with this arc in here, this circle, and then we have the closing of the model. In here, we have a lot of bridges. Look. But if you do a speed, a proper speed in here, look, all the model is in 100, but in here we have 60, okay? We are going to be fine because we have more time to cool those lines in here, okay? The nozzle is going to do this part in here, and then we reduce the speed and we have more time to cool down this, okay? This is going to be a better finished bridge, okay? So remember that. Remember to decrease your bridge speed on your slicer. Bamboo slicer, a Prusa, it depends on your printer, okay? The bridge settings, it needs to be similar as this. You can go 40 to 60. Keep this on your bridge settings, bridge speeds, I'm sorry. But the other ones, that depends on your printer. So if you have an Ender 3 VC, you can do Ender 3 V3 SE. You can keep similar as mine. If you have a Bamboo, you can go crazy 300, something like this. But it depends on your printer. Now, let me see if we have another detail about this part. I don't think so. This is a big print, so we don't need actually to reduce a lot the layer height, in my opinion. This print is going to take 10 hours, and I think we can save some time by increasing the layer height. Let's put 0.32. And why am I going so big? Because this is a smooth model. Look, we don't have a lot of small details, so we don't need to keep 0.2, for example, not even reduce this. And even if you put 0.32, it's going to be the same shape. We are going to save some time and keep the same shape, the same appearance on our model. It's going to be more visual, the layer lines, maybe, but it's not going to make so much difference, okay? And you are going to save a lot of time. In my opinion, it's worth it, okay? So let's increase the layer height. And as I said another times, if you are seeing those slicing videos as a series, in the advanced settings, we can change also the extrusion width, okay? Every time that you increase your layer height, remember to increase as well your extrusion width, okay? To keep the same adhesion between the layers. Let's slice it again and see how it goes. Well, we save 2 hours of work. So, in my opinion, worth it. If you disagree, you can keep 0.2. It's a choice. This detail of the layer height is not going to determine the success of this model, okay? You can keep 0.2, it's going to be okay. You can put 0.32, save 2 hours, and also is going to be okay. It's a choice for you. The only straight recommendation is about the speed, okay? Now I think we are okay about this model. Let's see the other parts. We have the base. And for the base, I will keep the same settings, okay? We are going to keep this extrusion width and keep this layer height because it's a piece that almost doesn't matter. It's just to hold the piece together, okay? We only need in here to keep the layer arts in here and also the light, okay? So 0.32, 5 hours, that's fine. We don't need to change anything in here. And now we have the body part. And in here, I think we do have a little problem. Let me show you something. I think we may need supports on this part, okay, in here to hold this. So to maybe activate the organic supports, avoiding the supports for to being on the piece, that's something that we don't want. Maybe rotating this part to a corner, we have more space to the organic support being built up. Let me see if that's going to work. I'm not sure. I just thought about it right now. Let's put organic supports. And we are with 0.32 millimeters, and we are going to activate 0.2 Z distance. We are not going to put more distance in here because if the supports are too far from the piece, they are not going to do its work, okay? So we want the supports holding the piece. We need to put it close enough. 0.2 is a good distance, okay? And also 3 interface layers and 0 pattern distance. Another detail, maybe your process slicer profile are with, let me see, in the printer settings, depending on your printer profile, the extruder, layer height limits are with some values. Put both 0 and then process slicer can change the layer lines on the supports, okay? So now let's slice it and see how it works. But first, let's paint supports in here with this part painting, 30 degrees, just for checking. This part over here, maybe we need to, a shame. Let's put in here, this one. I should increase the brush. Okay. Of course I would paint outside, always. Okay. Now let's put the circle one, press shift on our keyboard and just clean this. Okay. I didn't want this because I don't want supports on the printed parts, but in here I think we don't have choices. Let me see. And slice it. Well, guys, it worked. I didn't want supports on the print, but they are outside of the build plate. We don't have space in here. Let me see if we can put something in here to change that. Let me see if we can put as a one tower. Oh, almost there. Now we have two. Let me see. 10 degrees. Oh, we are not going to make it. Okay, it's not going to work. So the diameter of the branch, maybe we could do just one single branch, but it's not going to work. So let's change the if you have a bigger build plate, you could do just this one, just the settings that I just showed you. Okay, if you have space, maybe we do have. Let me try something. Maybe we could do like this. Maybe. Let's see. We are on the limit, but we could do it. I can't believe it. Just a single adjustment. So we can use this, okay? But let me show you if we didn't have space, okay? If we didn't have, we just change for the snug options. These options follow exactly the support area, okay? So let's show you guys, okay? These are the snug settings, and maybe they are better, maybe, but they are harder to remove. Look in here. In this part, it's going to be easy, actually, easier. In here, in also here. It's just a single tower, and then you can remove it. But in here, we need to break the supports. In here and also here. We have two options, okay? The three supports and also the snug options. Remember that, and remember to keep the bottom Z distance 0.32. Okay, this is important because then we have more distance in the bottom part when the pieces used to glue each other, the support and the print, and we don't want this. Okay, 0.232 on the base is going to be fine. It's going to be easier to remove. Okay, you have this option, or you have the organic option, this one. All right, guys, I think you should be fine to print this. And also I am keeping the 0.32 layer height because this part is not so important, and also we don't have details, we don't have small details on the surface. It's just a smooth area. Okay, so 0.32 is going to make the same shape as the model. Okay, we don't need to reduce a lot, and we are going to save some time in here with this big print. Is a big model. Okay, guys, and I think we are good, and it's going to be easy to remove. You can choose between snug or this one, or which one do you prefer. The downside of this one is this. I don't know if it's safe enough to print like this, but we should try. Okay, I think may work. And finally, the last part, the layer lines, the layer arts actually. So you can put the images in here, and then remember to put your standard profile. You should be fine, 0.32, 0.2, sorry. And then the perimeter generator, change for arachne. I will show you the difference. With the classic one, we have a lot of fill gaps, those white parts in here. So the nozzle is going to do a lot of adjustments because of the holes. If you change for the arachne perimeter generator, the slicer is going to adjust the extrusion width on the walls and then fill those gaps with the wall. So if you change that, I think it's going to be better. It's the only change for those parts. Okay, all right, guys, this was just a class, just one single tutorial, but you know, on 3D print we have a lot of changes depending on the model. We have resistance prints, we have decorative models, we do have models that we want to print fast and a lot of other situations. On STL Academy, we have a more complete content for you. We have a course, the Print Like a Pro method. In there, you can find a lot of situations and a lot of knowledge about 3D printing. All of those tips that we bring in here are from there. So if you want to learn more about 3D printing and have more solutions like this available for you, join STL Academy, and I hope to see you guys there.